What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I will be doing a technical analysis breakdown for strategy B with the ticker symbol MSTR. I will first be going over what I see on the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please trade at your own risk. So MSTR had a 6.23% drop on Friday. And let's go over the technical reason why. So we have this upward sloping trend line in play. You drag it off the swing lows, drag it up to the highs, fits pretty good. And it looks like we were getting rejected or finding resistance at this 456 level, which is right at the dash line of the channel, the midline. And then we were consolidating in a very tight compression, and it was looking like it was going to break out, and it broke out lower instead of higher in this case. So it came right back to the breakout zone of about 421, 420, and it stopped right there. So what can happen now is a lot of different things, but more likely than not, a couple of things. The first one is that we just reversed back up higher. We retested the breakout zone, found support, and then buyers defending that level, and we just move up higher. We create a short trap, especially since we have this mesh move target in play higher, one leg up right here, and then this would be the second leg up. And we only had one attempt at it technically. So we had one leg up right here. Correction, this is the first attempt to reach the target. Failed because we dropped down. And now there's a good chance we still see a second attempt higher towards the 550 level. So that target is still in play, and there's still an opportunity for bulls to try one more time, especially after retesting the breakout. So I'd say that's the more likely situation to play out of the two. And the other one is obviously this was a failed breakout of 420. And then we just come, trending down lower and lower. Maybe we don't even bounce from the trend line and we break down, we continue trending down lower. So this could, lead to a downtrend, but I don't think it will. We have this 420 potentially acting as support. We are still above the EMA. We still have a measure move target in play, and we're still above the bullish trend line. So we can obviously still bounce off of that too as well. So I think it's probably just declining just because we had the breakout, retest. Bitcoin's also in a correction. So I think it's just, these are obviously just technical moves. Nothing really fundamentally changed about the company. They're still operating as they were. And this is just a technical pattern playing out. So that's all I see on the daily chart. Not much else to say about that. Let's look at the strategies, 1 year strategy, 1 year return, 172% even after that drop. And the 3 month is actually less, a lot less. You can see it's only 33%, which is still pretty good. Where are you going to get 33% if you just buy the S&P 500? So definitely outperforming there, but slightly behind these other ones, which will just take maybe a couple weeks to get back to second, maybe a month to get back to get in first place above NVIDIA. So 3 month performing decently, 1 year exceptionally well, and I don't think this is over yet. Let's take a look at the holdings. Should be somewhere right around here, 601,550. I'm betting they buy this this last week, and they'll really reveal it on Monday. So I'm pretty sure they bought some more Bitcoin. But other than that, it's just a pullback right at the breakout zone, similar to what happened right over here. This happens all the time. When price is setting a new high or breaking above a prior high, it's going to be probably coming back to retest it. So this was a high point right here. You drag the line across, and what do you get? You see that price broke out, pulled back a retest, and then it resumed higher. So it's going to happen, several times, even right back over here. So it's just a pattern that keeps on repeating. So we have this high right here. You drag the line across. We broke out, retest, and resumed higher. So it's just it's the same type of pattern, even over here. Even this high right here. This one took a little bit longer to play out. We had a small little retest, and then price went up higher, then a big retest, and then we went to a bigger move up higher. So the pattern just got bigger. So this thing happens, everywhere. And sometimes it doesn't. So this is where, you can't have like a fixed mindset. Nothing is guaranteed to happen in the market. And you have to be open to all possibilities. This was a prior high right here. But see how the bears could not get back to it. So that shows signs of strength. The bears were betting, man, we should come back to the breakout zone. I'm going to take shorts. I'm not going to get out of my trade. until we get this to this level. And look what happened. Price just immediately reversed higher, stopped them out, and they were out of the trade. So we have to be open to all possibilities. If not, then we won't see all the possibilities. Hopefully that makes sense. If you're just looking at the bullish case, then you're going to ignore the bearish case, and that's going to get you into trouble. But if you're open to all possibilities, anything can happen, then your mind will be open to all the information that is available. So even though the information is available, you can be blinded to it depending on your bias or your belief. So we had support to remember that anything can happen in the market, and we need to be open to all situations. So as right now, it's looking to me like, yes, I believe it can go higher, and it still is in a bullish trend. Nothing really has changed dramatically about the structure. We're still above support, potential support, still above the trend line. The channel is still intact. We have a measurement target still in play, and Bitcoin is just pulling back as well. So I'm pretty sure that once Bitcoin um, bottoms out, this will rip up higher. So this is Bitcoin's chart, measurement target towards 136, still in play. We're just in this little micro channel working up higher. We're in this macro and micro channel. So there's a micro channel, this is the macro channel, still just correcting sideways, which is a good sign. We're not even seeing price pull back to this breakout zone of 109. And typically Bitcoin hasn't been doing that. It breaks out and then it just struggles to come back to the breakout zone. This one almost did right here. But if you go back in time, this one didn't do it. This one broke out of this high right here. This one did kind of pull back, just barely test it. So it's barely testing these breakout zones if it does, and just ripping up higher. So nice strong trend for Bitcoin. Let's go back to MSTR. I think a lot of people are expecting Bitcoin to maybe end this year just based on time. I don't really like to do that. I believe price is more valuable than time, because time can take longer or shorter, but price is, what you really care about. So MSTR, even though I'm expecting it to reach $4,000, it could take longer. Well, let's say, let's not put a hard stop on it by the end of this year or even Q1 of next year. Maybe it takes another year. I mean, are you okay with that? As long as the trend is still grinding up higher and higher, I'll take that. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm not expecting to take 5 years or 10 years, but as long as the trend continues moving at the pace we're at, it could take a while to get to that target. Even for Bitcoin, it's not really doing Bitcoin things right now. It's just moving at a nice pace. So let's take a look at the weekly chart. Still above the trend lines. Don't even have to draw it. You can just visualize the trend lines on the chart. It's still above it. Looking at the weekly chart, there's going to be some resistance here. Is this a cup and handle pattern where we have, a cup and then a little handle and then continuation? Maybe, but I don't really care about patterns. You have to look at the, the price structure or the price action developing the pattern. Is it in the right context to be a cup and handle? I think so. Basically, just what is a cup and handle, or what is the pattern that's playing out? Well, we have a nice drive up by the bulls, followed by a minor correction, starting another drive up by the bulls, finding minor correction in the way, just a little stop, pull back, and then most likely they'll stop out the shorts to drive up the price again. So that's basically what's happening under the hood for the cup and handle pattern. Nice drive up, correction, moving up higher, finding resistance again, corrected lower, create a short trap for higher prices. So that's basically what's happening under the hood for that pattern. Earnings report is just in 12 days too, so that could be a catalyst that drives up price or down. But overall, right near the highs, only about 22% off the highs, 22%, and most likely we will see a new one. Looking at the monthly chart, still looking very bullish. Nice structured uptrend. Nothing crazy. We're still moving at a nice angle. You can see how the EMA is nicely pointing up, very consistent. Something like that. We haven't diverged from it at all yet. So this month is looking to be slightly bullish. Let's see if it closes more bullish. And if you draw a trend line off the lows on the monthly, you drag it up, we've been still moving at this angle. And if you extrapolate it out, yeah, it could take some time, maybe Q2, Q3, to reach that $4,000 target. So if price does Let's put a vertical line at the end of the year, which is right about here. So can we get there towards that $4,000 target right about here by the end of the year? I mean, price would have to do a huge move up like this. Can that happen? Yes, it can. And diverge from the EMA. It can do that, but let's say it takes a little bit longer. It's something like this. That would be okay too. Maybe end of 2026, I would say. Let's just say it does, because if you extrapolate the trend line, then it's telling me you can get there moving at the same pace, probably Q2 of Q3 of next year. So it could take a little bit longer. The way we've been moving is constructive, nice pattern. If we just do that again, yeah, see, if you just copy the pattern that we've been forming so far, drag it over, yeah, we could see about maybe 1500 by the end of the year, correct sideways, still move up higher into 4000 by Q2 of Q3 of next year. Again, time, it can stress you out, if you're expecting a certain time for a target. But as long as the trend is still in play, that's what's the most important thing. As long as we're still moving up higher and we don't see any reversal signs, I'm expecting higher prices. So Bitcoin as well, it doesn't have to be a typical 4-year cycle. Nothing is guaranteed in the market. If it was that simple, then everyone would just do the same thing over and over again, but it's going to eventually break. It's not going to do the same thing over and over again. That's just not how markets work. So same thing for Bitcoin. Everyone's expecting a 4-year cycle ending this year. What if it doesn't end this year? What are you going to do? Still sell even though it's trending up higher? You're probably not going to do that. That wouldn't be the smart thing to do. If the trend is still intact and we move up higher, I don't care if it's the end of the year. It doesn't matter to me. But sometimes the technicals will align with the price, meaning like we'll see a blow off top towards the end of the year. Then, yes, the technicals are telling me that it's time to exit or something like that. I let the technicals take me out, not necessarily the time, because you could be chopping around sideways. For example, MSTR has been chopping around sideways since November of last year. We're still at the same price as November of last year, so a lot of sideways trading, but the long-term trend is still in play. And, if you were to get at a low point, you're still up a good amount. So it's not the end all be all, just because the time is taking a lot longer. So all that for MSTR on the daily and weekly charts. Just want to give you guys a more thorough update from yesterday and pretty much throughout the week. And this is all I have. And I'll give you guys an update most likely on Monday. This is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time.